I'm speaking directly to MAGA, okay? And I want you to logically explain this to me, all right? But you have to listen, and you have to put your emotions and your pitchforks down, and you have to listen. I understand that there is this coordinated effort from the administration, who basically has control of basically all the corporate media, okay, to paint the picture that there are these lunatic lefties out here and they're, doing all these pew-pews, this, that, and the other. Okay, but here's the situation. Every day in this country, there is a mass pew-pewing. Every day. Every day since Trump has been elected, every day in the administration before that, every day in Trump's first administration. This is a problem that the United States has, period, full stop. And a huge part of that problem is because we basically stigmatize mental health, and our access to weapons is just too high. Okay, so I know I probably lost half of you when I said that, because you think that everybody's coming for your home defense firearms. That's not the case. Almost every single Dem I know has a firearm for self-defense inside the home. Okay, including myself, several. So it isn't that. We're talking about common sense gun laws, all right? But let's look at the three that are being used, okay, well, really only two, but that are being used to basically paint this picture that the left is out of control. And before I go there, I want to make sure to mention that Trump had the report, okay, because people keep tallies on these things, all right, that extremist violence in this country, 70-something% of the time, comes from the right. That's why he had the report pulled down, because it doesn't fit the narrative. This is fact, not opinion. So you have Tyler Robinson, raised in Utah, white, 22, raised by a MAGA family, given his firearm by his grandfather. Okay, so if I just told you that, you'd be like, oh yeah, he's MAGA. That's what you would think, right? 100%, that's where your mind would go. So the only reason that you're being told that he's a lefty is because he didn't like Charlie Kirk. And the assumption, okay, no proof, is that he didn't like Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk didn't like gay or trans people. All right, so here's the problem. You're constantly saying that you're not a cult, you're not a cult. Well, here's the thing. If you're not a cult, then that means that there are people on both the right and the left that didn't like Charlie Kirk. I mean, just look online. You will see that's the case, okay? Not every single person on the right liked Charlie Kirk. Please insert Nick Fuentes, the Groypers. They did not like, they had an open and public beef. So how you guys are making this jump to, oh, well, he didn't like Charlie Kirk, so he's definitely from the left, when all of those other marker, raised in Utah by a MAGA family, blah, 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 okay, all that, all points to the right. And I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just saying that doesn't make sense. Okay. Second point, the other guy who shot up the ICE detention facility. Okay. First off, and I don't know what you're being told over at Fox, but he didn't kill any ICE agents. The people that were unalived were immigrants, detainees. Okay. And he supposedly wrote anti-ICE on the, Now, look, if you're on the left, then you know full well that's not what, anybody who would be mad enough to get up there and do what he did would write fuck ICE. They wouldn't write anti-ICE. That's just like wild on its face. But anyway, so here's the thing. This also cannot be attributed, again, same thing. White guy, grew up in like Texas, Oklahoma area, very red leaning district. Okay, he's anti-ICE. And all of a sudden, the assumption from the right is, oh, well, then he must belong to the left. Now, there's no tie, no stated political affiliation from either one of these people to the right or to the left. But if we're just looking at the facts, okay, if you will go and just, I don't know if they're playing it on Fox News, but if you'll just look on general media, okay, you can see town hall meeting after town hall meeting where Republicans in heavily red districts, okay, so I'll assume a lot of them are MAGA, are screaming at their representatives saying, this is bullshit, this is a violation of due process, ICE is engaged in human trafficking, this has to stop. So there's your proof that being anti-ICE isn't inherently leftist, right? That could come from both sides. And then that brings us to the chucklehead from yesterday, the one who drove his truck into the side of a church and then got out and started doing whatever he did. All right, now we know he was MAGA, 100%, no questions about it. You can see his posts online, all right? So he's MAGA. So of course, they're gonna try to play that down. My point in all of this is that you're being played, number one, all right? There's a narrative being created that it's all, these lunatic leftists that are coming for y'all. And as a result, he's trying to stoke the fire, right? Get everybody all worked up so that he can justify violence towards the left. But here's the thing with authoritarians, right? They don't stop at one group. Once they get one group under control, then they come for the next one, all right? So that's why you saw the people on the right who were being smart about it go, no. When Jimmy Kimmel got fired, you can't come for free speech because eventually that'll blow back on us. See, they will be able to see forward in time and be like, yeah, that's not going to work. And this is exactly the same, okay? He is the media is painting a picture to justify basically a new civil war, which is just wild because, of course, the old Civil War and today's Civil War will be completely different. You guys, you're just talking about totally different situations because you don't have North versus South. It's not like that. We're all intermixed, okay? So everybody needs to put the pitchforks down and stop with the finger pointing because the truth is, look at the numbers. One mass pew-pewing every single day in America says that it's coming from everywhere, both sides, specifically and predominantly, statistically from the right. But that said, it could come from either side. So please, as you're being whipped into a frenzy, just try to keep your eye on the prize, right? If there are 3 data points right now, these 3 pew-pewers, okay, only one of them has a known political affiliation, and that known political affiliation is MAGA.